The pieces are all in place. It's time to perform the quantum conjuration on the Akashic records. And Harriet, what a perfect vessel you'll be. Just think, you'll be reborn at last as an almighty being. What's wrong? There's nothing to fear. This isn't death. It's a new beginning. You'll play host for something far greater. Its soul will keep yours company in that body. And with your help, at last, infinite knowledge will be mine!
Then what, Luther? If that's who you even are. What do you see when all of that is said and done?
Are you questioning a scientist on the value of his work?
If my life is the cost of helping save our people, or perhaps even the world, then you can have it. I'll give it gladly. But you seem to have something else in mind, so I think I'll choose to die for something far greater. My entire existence, the reason blood pumps through my veins, is so I can fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. And as the one who brought me here for that very purpose, you should know better, Luther.
Brought you here? But that can't be. I saw you. You were right here, Harriet. You were laying right here.
Harriet, are you all right? Guardian! Sierra! I was hoping you'd come.
How did you meddlers find this place?
It's right where you said it would be. I guess that means everything you saw was real.
I can't believe this. You find a way to be a thorn in my side every single time. Were you born to destroy my work?
Hold on. Every time? Right. No one else but the Fallen would have said that.
Fallen? Luther, the Fallen. Yes, it is I. The man who will become one with the Akashic records. And you Arx pissant. Trying to thwart me just once didn't satisfy you?
Please be careful! those things, he'll just keep conjuring new ones. Focus on stopping Luther. Wait, Harriet!
Luther. The Fallen, was it? If you're planning to use all that wisdom and power for your own selfish ends, instead of for the people of our land, then I will stop you. That is my duty, as the Queen of Quento, and as your sister!
It's all right, Harriet. You have been exceptional. You dealt justice even to me without flinching. If you bear that determination proudly on your sleeve, you'll be able to purge the ephemera.
Luther! It's you! Oh, thank goodness. I knew you would finally come back to your senses.
You jest, Harriet. As if there's been a single moment in my entire life where I behaved like a sensible person.
Luther, what possibly possessed you to do this?
When I stopped the Crimson Fellworm, I knew this might be a consequence. The ephemera. They consume your very mind, as I'm sure Lutz discovered. If that had to be the outcome, I hoped at least to help build a foundation for our country, for your rule. Harriet, you did the right thing. You held firm, and brought judgment down on those who violated the ban, and threw our land into chaos. Even your own flesh and blood.
Luther, please.
My ego certainly made a lot of trouble for you. Please, let me ask you one favor. Look after my sister. Stay by her side. My sister? That's rather a smug way to put it, wouldn't you say? Please spare me the trifling questions. There's just one Luther. Whatever versions of me you know, they are me. Which is to say, the desire to protect that girl was something within me all along. I just so happen to be fed up with being stuck in Gemini, and with the profound darkness too. I have no qualms with lending you my power. I won't play teacher. Just use it well. Do that, and I imagine you'll glimpse the cruelty of reality, of that ancient despair.
Luther! How?
Harriet, remember this. You are a real person.
I will! I'll remember, Luther.
Harriet?
It's all right. I won't cry. Tears have no place in royalty's eyes.
I've confirmed the signal. It's definitely Luther the Fallen. Did the traces it left behind in this world take shape like they did with Elder?
Yes and no. The presence of those traces influenced the Akashic Record's memories, causing this to materialize. Its abilities are just as you remember as well. I can attest to its strength. Though, as I recall, you had no trouble defeating this before.
Here it comes!
You actually had words with Luther? And he said he'd lend you his power?
Do you feel physically all right?
Oh my. Is the ultimate being hoping I'll wield my influence? She needn't worry. I'm content to keep quiet. For now. My only interest is this place I'm currently occupying. I have no intention of getting involved in other trifling matters. So why don't you just act natural? It wouldn't help either of us if things suddenly got complicated.
What's wrong? Your face has turned quite a strange color. Are you really all right? Well, if you say so. I'm just worried about Luther's power getting cozy in there. So now you've got Luther's power in there too. But nothing about you looks different, statistically speaking. No increase in F factor.
It's the same as Elder. No urgent issues as far as we can tell. As for your abilities, we'll keep them under observation. But our priority needs to be Omega.
Listen, I know Luther sacrificed himself to drain the ephemera from the Crimson Fellworm, but even so... I understand why you have your doubts, Matoy, but I promise it's true. The Luther from Omega had a bit of a sharp tongue, but he was a good brother at least, right?
Well, Omega is just a replay of the memories in the Akashic Records, after all. Maybe the Luther you met there was like the one we knew, back before we'd ever met him. The pre-Luther Luther, if you will.
Well, I guess that would fit in with what Euclida once told us. Apparently, when she was apprentice, even her mind wasn't fully her own. We know Luther wanted to control the Dark Balls' power, but maybe he was the one getting controlled instead. But there's no way we can actually confirm that. And even if we could, it wouldn't excuse what he's done. But there's one thing that still bothers me. In those visions of Harriet's and Luther's past...
Harriet's death, yes? If Luther was involved in that, well, there must be a deep, dark secret hidden somewhere.
Let's try asking Harriet more about it once she's had time to collect herself more.
Kick this fresh meat jackass out of here already. He's nothing but an eyesore.
Not too sharp, are you? This fresh meat is a photoner, and has been around since well before your own infancy.
And what, you think you're His Highness Luther just because you're old? You're dumber than your little twig-ass looks.
Your voice wastes air like your mass wastes space. Just the sight of you makes me question every advance Arx has made.
Ha! Yeah, there was this real fuck-up of an overseer who ran Arx right into the ground. Could be his fault. Am I wrong?
Oh, absolutely. I'll admit it. Your existence is my greatest failure as Overseer. It would torment me if I didn't make that quite clear.
Oh, mind your own damn business and get lost.
What a delight watching you struggle to be consistent for even 10 seconds. So you no longer need their help. You're an extraordinary fool. You're practically too hideous to exist. I suppose it's no wonder Elder was so smitten with you as a vessel.
You sure like running that fancy mouth. Need a reminder as to why everybody calls you the Fallen? Take a swing at me and find out!
Well, I agree that the time for talk is over. Clearly you're utterly beyond hope. Well, you may be a lost cause, but you're a rare find nonetheless. Let's not disrespect our host. You may stay for now, I suppose.
Uh-huh. Talk all you want, you little shit.
Hey there. Thought I'd drop by. You're damn right. Although we haven't been toughing it out alone, thanks to Arx.
I went ahead and gave Enga a rundown of what's happening with the Akashic Records, since it looks like it's affecting Earth, too.
Sounds like that whole mess on Earth was pretty much halfway responsible for what's been going on. I mean, materializing an entire world is sorta a little beyond what happened to us, but it's not that far off from what Deus Eska did. Oh, things are hunky-dory down on Earth, by the way. Hitsugi and Al are doing fine. Earthguide and Mother Core still have to play whack-a-mole with the odd phantasm, but nothing we can't handle together. And hey, when they bring out the really big guns, Arx has stepped in. So we still have our problems, but no problems. In a word, the whole peace on Earth thing is kind of working out for us now. Oh, and that geezer Eritron and the math nerd are off to the US on business. Seems they're trying to get a hand from overseas with analyzing the weird stuff they've been seeing in space. Crap. Speaking of the math nerd, looks like Ak wants to chat all of a sudden. Can I just ignore it? Nah.
Listen up, Mr. 10% Casanova. When I call, you pick up in 2 rings.
Look, we can't talk if you blow out my eardrums. Just tell me what's up already.
Wait. Are you with the Oracle fleet? What are you doing all the way out
What do you think? I'm on some kind of space yoga retreat? They asked me to come. They got a situation here.
Oh, right. Well, listen, we've got a situation too. A full-on 200% capital S situation.
Okay. You might want to elaborate on that one.
You two couldn't communicate your way out of a paper bag. Perhaps I should explain.
You're here too, Gramps. Guess shit must have gotten pretty real after all.
Excuse you, 10% playboy. How come you start taking it seriously when he says it?
That'll do now, Oak. Ox folks, if you'd be so kind as to lend me your ears. A black hole suddenly sprung up a little too close to our solar system for comfort. Now, it's far enough away that we don't seem to have an immediate problem on our hands.
But a supernova could form with no warning. Plus, according to our scientists, it's getting really huge, really fast. This is definitely not normal.
So what's gonna happen if it keeps up this growth spurt?
What do you think happens with black holes? It'll gobble up everything. That's definitely curtains for Earth, let alone the entire galaxy.
Oak and I are working to drum up a little support with the investigation from a few countries' governments. So, young Mr. Yasaka, you let us know right away if you learn anything valuable from ARCS.
What are the odds that we'd both be up against suddenly appearing, rapidly expanding black holes? I guess if the Akashic Records hold memories of the entire universe, it makes sense that they'd affect different dimensions in the same way.
I'm feeling more and more like I've got some skin in the game here. Guess I'd better go tell Hitsugi and Al what's up. If anything happens, let me know. Think of me like your point man for all things Earth.
Understood. Thanks, Enga.
Pull yourself together, Aurora. What happened to you being a so-called goddess of beauty? Is this the way a goddess behaves?
Even goddesses can be affected by things such as this, you brute. Besides, I'm not the type of lady to cling to my past glory forever.
Well, what a wonderful improvement.
What are you two doing? Something seems weird here, for lack of a better word.
Our ex-goddess here seems to have smelled something strange, hence this pretending to be a bloodhound. Any idea what it could be?
Oh no! I'm sure neither of us has any idea. Aha! I was right! Something about you smells extremely fishy indeed. Are you sure? I don't detect any emissions from them that would give off any strange odors. Might want to do a proper checkup then. I guarantee that something's amiss. My woman's intuition is spot on.
Oh, so this is just some intuition thing. Can you describe the feeling at all?
It was familiar, but in a scary way?
I guess goddesses have really sharp noses.
Give it a rest, Euclita. I'm just calling it like I sensed it.
Well, if you just sensed this, then what did you need to go sniffing around making a fool out of yourself for?
Look, it felt like it heightened my senses.
Wow! Aren't we blessed to have Odora, goddess of bouquet, gracing our ship with her presence?
All right, Euclita. Now you've crossed the line. Also, that wasn't funny and no one laughed. So what exactly do you think Aurora found so familiar, yet scary? That could definitely be it. But we also can't rule out the possibility that it's related to the Dark Falls. I guess Aurora herself is a being of photons too. I'm sure she has some connection to that other world.
Emergency announcement. We have confirmed the presence of John Fall's apprentice on Lilypaw. All ArcSops, prepare to engage.
Oh, hello!
Good day, mate. Matoy and I were just shooting the breeze. Come here, let's chat about the good old days.
It's nice to have the three of us together again after so long.
Hard to believe it's just been 3 years since our certification mission. With all that's happened, right?
Is it? I remember you two saving me like it was yesterday. And then we got mixed up in things with Xion. And of course, I had my own problems. Those memories are here to stay.
Can't believe I got mixed up in all this when I only joined ARCS with the intention of finding Yusi. It's been a ride, I'll tell you that. Just think. First Yusi was at Dark Falls, then you, Matoy. And even you were getting close, mate. Kind of odd how I'm the common thread here, ain't it? Think I jinxed you all?
Don't talk like that often. And look, Euclida returned to us in one piece, right?
She sure did. Thanks to a certain someone.
Yes. I have you to thank for my safe return, too.
Cut the modesty, mate. We owe you boatloads. And believe you me, I aim to pay you back. I'll help you out full throttle with whatever you set your mind to. Whatever that's worth. Still, mate, you sure shot up the ARC's ladder quick, considering we joined in the same batch. Just 2 clowns with our sights set high. Quite the crew we make, eh? The mighty Guardian and their friend, the dime a dozen operative.
Well, whatever titles they put on us, we're still the same people we've always been. And it doesn't change our memories together. Oh, speaking of memories, you remember that time we all showed off our singing voices, don't you?
Ha, right. When Cartwright hoodwinked us and we all crowded in together in a big group. You weren't even a proper ArcSop yet back then, right, Matoy?
Not yet. It was right in the middle of all the examinations and tests I had to take. Now, that was one of the funniest things I can remember in my time here. Seeing everyone all thronged together like that.
Right. And remember what a crooner Theodore turned out to be at singing? Ask him for a bar or two next time, mate.
Ah, perfect timing. I was just about to call you.
Can we get this over with already? I've got 1,000,001 things to tend to in general affairs. What's so important that you need both Guardians in here anyway?
Well, making a plan to save the world, essentially. Isn't that right? Quick question first, Sarah. Can you tell me how many people are in this room?
Huh? Well, the 2 Guardians, you and Sierra makes 4. What, is Kuna hiding out in here somewhere? Please tell me there's a point to all of this.
I guess not. Just wanted to see your smiling face.
What?
Oh, Sarah. Glad to see you're still your adorable little self.
Don't be gross. And if you want to hide something, try to change the subject a little less blatantly.
Well, it's just that...
Oh, it's fine. I guess you're just not ready to tell me yet. But I hope it happens sometime soon.
Level-headed as always, Sarah. You can tell we must be linked.
I'll take the compliment, but you can keep the comparison, thanks. But really, if you get these 2 in over their heads, you'll answer to me. You 2 had better not shirk on those regular medical checkups. Philia's pretty steamed you haven't been showing up.
Right. Sorry.
Tell it to Philia, not me. See you around.
come Sarah couldn't see you, even though she and Xiao are linked?
Well, it's hard to say what exactly determines whether someone can see me. Xiao and Sierra can see me because they're basically derived straight from Xion. And so can the two of you.
But I guess just being linked to Xiao wasn't enough to let Sarah see you.
I figured it would work because your bond with Xion was similar to my photon link with Sarah. But no dice. I guess you have some kind of stronger link than that. Some element of Xion must still be alive inside the two of you. That must be the reason why you can see Alma.
Well, here's how I choose to look at it. Thanks to your connections to Xion, I get to talk with all four of you, right? We can worry about the ins and outs of it later. For now, I'm just grateful. I'd be much lonelier without the four of you to talk to.
You should be careful about tackling people out of the blue.
That little lady just called Matoy predecessor, right? So I guess that makes her Claris Craze the Third? Oh, I've been reading the records, so I have a general idea of what happened. Pretty interesting having the second and the third around at the same time, isn't it? Hey! That means all three generations of Claris Craze are gathered here right now! What an amazing moment! I wish we could take a picture.
Hey, Bonehead! What are you standing there muttering into space for?
Come to think of it, I know my name's Alma, of course, and good old second is Matoy. But what about little third here? What's her name?
Her name?
Whose name? Matoy? Ma'am, is everything okay?
Oh, it's just that Alma was... Wait, forget I said anything.
Alma? Wait, I know that name. She was your predecessor, right, my predecessor?
Oh, I'm a celebrity!
You've really done your homework, haven't you, Clarice Craze?
Of course! Alma, the great first Claris Craze, followed by the illustrious Matoy. So, Bonehead, care to take a guess what my name is? Of course you don't. It's highly classified after all. Khasra actually dug it up just the other day while he was looking through some of Void's old files. And here it is. Ready? It's Iris.
Iris? Huh.
Uh-huh. It was written I-R-I-S-S in the files. So we figure it's an ID number or something. But it's my name as far as I'm concerned. Huey said it had a nice ring to it, too. So whenever I end up passing on the title of Claris Craze, the two of you can just call me Iris. Not that I plan on doing that anytime soon, of course. I take great pride in having inherited a title that belonged to two fantastically inspiring warriors!
Really? She's a very strong one, isn't she? I have a feeling she's going to do the Claris Craze name proud. You want to know what happened 40 years ago? I guess you're talking about our war with Elder.
I heard that you sealed away Elder back then. But how did you manage it?
I can try to explain it, but gosh, it's a real brain buster. Should I do it anyway?
It's okay. I bet I can figure it out.
Well, for starters,
I had to squeeze the photons onto Various really tight. Like, shoom! That's how I formed the wall. The wall? Then I got everyone to pitch in and lure Elder inside of the wall while we fought. Next, I gave the photons inside the wall a nice squeeze to squish him into place, and locked it with multiple seals from the outside. You squeezed and squished? But you know what? Now that I think about it, using Clarissa as the key might have been a mistake. Oh, but if I used my body or something as the key, Luther probably would have unlocked them all. So yeah, kind of a no-go. Well, what's done is done, I guess. So no point in overthinking it. Wow, sorry. I really went off track there. Did that make any sense? I'm sorry. I didn't get it at all. Didn't think so. Cassie was an expert at analyzing my ramblings, but even he was stumped by that one. But something tells me that's not what you wanted to ask about. Is it, Matoy? Don't hesitate to ask if there's something you'd like to know. If it's something I'd rather not answer, then I won't. Well, I was wondering about the promise you made with Regius 40 years ago. A 40-year-old promise? With Reggie? Oh! I wonder what it could have been. You're really not a very good liar. I can't talk about it. Or I don't want to talk about it. Maybe a little of both? Don't you feel like telling someone else about a promise means it won't come true? Why would I dunk my chances like that? I mean, this is a promise that Reggie and Mary are still working hard to keep. It's not really super clear-cut, more of a vague agreement. Still not comfortable sharing it, though. Sorry, you two, but having a few secrets adds to a floating photon girl's sense of intrigue, you know? In the end, Harriet announced that her own brother, Luther, had broken the laws of Coento, and she had passed down his judgment herself. Her explanation was as dry of details as her eyes were of tears. Stunned that she could so unflinchingly cut down her own flesh and blood, the people whispered a new name for their ruler. The Ice Queen. But Harriet paid that no mind, forging calmly ahead on the path she had decided, purging the world of ephemera. The elimination of ephemera. It was the most fitting deed she could imagine, to honor the memory of her brother. But to those who remained by her side, the strain the Queen felt was as plain as day. No, I won't.
You must, my lady.
I said I will not.
It is not a question.
Kind of hard seeing Harriet as an Ice Queen right now, isn't it? Imagine what the people in those other countries would call her if they saw this. But you can really tell how taxed she feels, can't you?
How can you expect me to sit around and do nothing when the ephemera scourge still...
You would not be doing nothing, my lady. It would be an official inspection.
Dress it up however you like, Varuna. But now's simply not the time.
Then let me speak plainly, Your Highness. Right now, nothing is more vital than you taking a moment to rest and recuperate. You've pacts to negotiate inside. Collections to arrange, storage sites to secure. There's no telling how many hurdles lie ahead. If you do not rest when the situation allows, you'll find yourself with no strength left to give. Not to mention, should anything threaten your health now, your brother's loss would be in vain.
That's awfully underhanded of you to bring Luther into it, Veruna.
A warrior must use every tool at their disposal. Isn't that so, Guardian? Which brings me to another question, my lady. Is there something you need to discuss with the Guardian?
How did you know that?
I would be remiss as your aide of so many years if I could not pick up on that much, my lady. Or on the fact that you are in dire need of some rest.
If you say so, Guardian.
Come on, Harriet! It'd just be a little downtime. You'll wake up face down on the floor at the rate you're going.
Very well. I'll take some time for these official inspections, as Veruna puts it. But if I must go, then I insist the Guardian must accompany me. If we're so concerned about overwork, just look at how many Castrum Demonicus they've had to take down. If one of us rests, so does the other. Is that fair, Veruna?
Just so, my lady. Well, Guardian, I fear I must entrust Her Highness's safety to you once more. I ask, no, beg, that you do everything in your power to shield her from any harm.
Of course we'll defend her.
Thank you, but it isn't simply that. I ask that you stay by her side. With Master Luther gone, I fear you are the only person Lady Harriet can truly rely on.
And so, Harriet set out on an inspection tour to survey the state of her long-suffering land. For days, she traveled from place to familiar place, the Guardian always at her side. At last, nearing the end of their trip, they came to Luisa, a small haven near the East Artia border. Luisa is known throughout Cuento as a small slice of paradise, situated on a massive lake embraced by miles of undisturbed nature.
Mountain runoff reacts with volcanic minerals to dye the water's surface in rainbow hues. On clear days, you can see all the way to Cuento Castle, shining bright white beyond the Rainbow Lake and the deep green forest. To compare the landscape to a fairy tale falls short of its overpowering beauty, in the face of which a visitor can only sigh in wonder. That didn't sound like quite the type of sigh the signpost was looking for.
No, not at all. Why would anything be bothering me during my precious break time?
The lady doth protest too much. Don't worry, we're not gonna tell you off. It's hard to just shut your brain off for a while, huh?
Yes. I understand I needed a rest. It just doesn't sit right with me. First and foremost, the best I can do is keep my face forward, eyes dry and back straight, and try to help my country, the world even. I can only face my responsibilities head-on, take whatever slander is thrown my way, and march forward toward what I must do. It's the reason why I was called here in the first place. I don't understand how, Guardian, but you know something about the past my brother and I shared, don't you? You must, or I can't imagine how you could have found your way to Luther's laboratory.
So you're saying all those visions the Guardian saw?
They must have been true. I have, well, Harriet has crossed death's threshold once before. The me you see here is something else, with Harriet's form. I am something that was conjured by Luther, and became Harriet. I don't fully understand what happened. When I awoke, it was over, and all I saw was Luther, my brother, stained in blood. I knew he'd conjured something terrible, and I had lost my life trying to protect him from it. And then, it was my turn to be summoned. My form is Harriet's. My manner is Harriet's. No one would ever suspect otherwise. But am I really Harriet? I don't know. Am I even a real person? And yet in the end, what's the difference? Whoever or whatever I am, I was called here for a reason. Harriet was devoted to her country, to her people. I am no different. I will be who everyone wants me to be. Imagine if I told Varuna. The poor man would be so shocked. You'll keep this between us, won't you? Even though no one would probably believe it?
It's true. You could have kept this a secret forever.
I can't explain exactly. I suppose when you get right down to it, I felt the two of you ought to know. Well, that's not quite right. More than anything, I just wanted someone to know. I needed someone to confide in, so... Greetings, my new partners in secrecy. I've only been Harriet for 3 years now. I never would have made it without so many people to help me. There was Luther, of course, and Father, Varuna, and all the people of Coento. I owe them all so much. They were all so kind to Harriet. I've been incredibly fortunate, having Harriet's name and walking in her shoes. I don't feel any guilt over it. I've done nothing to feel regret over. I only have to make sure I repay the kindness they've given me. That's what keeps me moving forward. Even if the cruelty of this world threatens to freeze my heart, I'll carry the warmth of that kindness. Well, let me ask one favor then. Just give me this moment to cry until the tears won't come. When that's done, I won't need to anymore. Thank you so much. I didn't know how badly I needed that. It's like I've shed a weight I didn't know I was carrying. This must be what happens when you try to hold in tears for too long. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'll be just fine now.
Hey! What are you doing? You made a girl cry!
Are you all right, miss? Were they harassing you? People only cry when they're sad, right? What made you want to cry? No, I'm all right. They didn't do anything. But it's kind of you to worry. Being a grown-up seems complicated. Me? Well, for starters, the name's Florent. And where does a fine young man like you come from, Florent? Good question. And the answer is a secret. But forget about that. Let's have some fun. That's what this place is for, right? A little time for play will wash the tears away. Come on, how about it? That's a fine idea. I suppose it's why we came here, after all.
Did you notice anything strange about that kid? Exactly. Gemini the duplicate, in the flesh. Maybe he's like Luther. A snapshot of Gemini from before they became the version we know. I'm intrigued.
Wow! I can't believe you're a real fairy. I've only ever seen stuff like you in books. Hey, how does the flying bit work? Is there some kind of trick to it?
Hey! Quit tugging on my wing! Ow! I mean it! Leave my wings alone! Ah! Please help me!
I am playing nice. She's having fun too, see?
Where did you get that idea? Did you not hear me say ow?
Florent's been playing all day, and it looks like he still has energy left to spare. Hey, miss? Whoa! What's the matter, Florent? I was just wondering why you look so sad. This place is pretty neat, right? It's pretty, it's bright and cheery. It's a place where everyone can have fun. Doesn't it feel like a waste to come here and not play and smile and have a good time? I just have a great deal on my mind, Florent. What kind of stuff's on your mind? Anything fun? Anything funny? Not quite. Mostly questions. About the future, I suppose. That seems kind of weird. How so? Well, if you don't know how the future's gonna end up, why do you look so sad about it? If things get too hard, can't you just quit? If it hurts, can't you just run away? No, I can't do that. No matter how hard or how painful things get, I can't just run away. If I did, I'd be letting down the people who worked so hard to get me where I am. And most importantly, I personally couldn't live with myself if I just ran away. Wow. Being a grown-up sounds complicated and hard. Good thing I'm a kid. I'm still something of a kid myself, Florent. Well, come on then! There's so much playing and even more playing left for us to do. There certainly is.